Hi guys, this is my review of Defending Jacob. First of all, this might be a little more different than my other reviews because today we are going to do spoilers. And we're going to go through the first 3 episodes because they all dropped literally today. So, I just first of all really do appreciate that Apple TV has some great shows such as this. And I do appreciate the casting that's involved, particular the 3 principals. So Chris Evans, everyone knows him as Captain America, and he was definitely a good choice for the father, I feel. With Michelle Dockery, I think she's famous for Downton Abbey. I haven't actually watched that much Downton Abbey. I watched a tiny bit of her in Downton Abbey, like a couple of episodes, and I think I saw her in Non-Stop. Now, in Non-Stop, she was okay, and I think she was alright. This is definitely the best performance I've ever seen coming out of Michelle Dockery, so that's great. And Jaden Martell, I know from It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. We'll get to him. His acting is great too. Now, the premise of the show, there's a murder. Did Jacob do it? The first episode, it really shows, puts things into perspective, what's happened, and I do love the pacing of the show. Now, just for comparison reasons, recently I tried to watch Extraction, the new Chris Hemsworth movie that everyone's raving about, how it's basically like John Wick. I couldn't even get through half an hour of that. The pacing issues were very evident in that one for me. So, not to mention, the action sequences were great, specifically with the half an hour that I went through. However, it didn't engage me. And let me tell you, Defending Jacob, episode 1, from the get-go, is very engaging. You definitely feel for the characters. The characters are interesting. Already, I could feel, because the trailer definitely gave a tiny bit away of what happened in the first 3 episodes, but I already felt Jacob's guiltiness. I was like, oh, he looks guilty, yeah. And the cinematography is actually really great. The first 2 episodes for me started off with very gloomy, dark colors, and then the 3rd episode kind of brightened up a bit, but still it's very filmic and very cinematic the way that they filmed the show. What I like the best is at the end of the 1st episode, at the end of the 2nd episode, they did have cliffhangers. The 3rd episode, they didn't really have a cliffhanger at the end. Tiny bit of a tease of a cliffhanger, but not really. Specifically, the first cliffhanger in the 1st episode, when Chris Evans finds a knife in his son's room, and I was like, okay! Well, this just made things more difficult because it really did. Let's say he didn't do it. He sure is gonna look super guilty. And if he did do it, how stupid are you to keep that knife in your house? And then that progressed to the 2nd episode when Chris Evans decided to throw the knife away. You should have just had the knife in your house, because now if he really did it, then of course we want to bring him to justice. That's going to be horrible, but you are protecting your son. But at the same time, if he didn't, if that knife was in the house and they could prove that he did not commit a murder, so you're kind of screwed yourself either way, Chris Evans. Why did you throw away the knife? Of course, the kid should have never had a knife in the first place. That's just, I get it. It's a murder. It's a loss of human life, and it's important. And it really, really shows, how one significant crime could just affect so many lives. You see how it jeopardizes Chris Evans' job because he's a district attorney. I think he's a assistant district attorney, so he can't do that anymore. And his wife, played by Michelle Dockery, is a school teacher, I'm pretty sure, and she can't teach anymore because the school's nah. And that's understandable. It really shows the impact that it has on the family. Now, to Jacob. Jaden Martell, wow. Like, never have I seen you act this way. I mean, you were great in It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, but here, I think it's from the get-go, something has been uneasy about him. I think that's reflected in his performance. I think he's doing it deliberately, that even when there was no murder mentioned in the first episode, everything was fine and dandy. He just seemed uneasy, like something was off about him. And I think he's doing that deliberately as an acting choice, and it was very effective. It's like every time I saw him, I was like, Same with actually some of his school friends, specifically Sarah and Derek, I think. They were good as well. In terms of like presenting a tiny bit of that uneasiness, but not as it is to the degree that Jaden does for Jacob. I did like the reveal at the end of episode 2 that possibly that pedophile could have done something, and it showed the pedophile like took photos of the kid that got murdered, so the pedophile could have done it. And how, like, I'm just waiting now onto what Sarah and Derek knows, because it's very clear that Sarah and Derek know way more about the situation than they lead on, and I'm just like waiting, like, next week I need to know what Sarah and Derek knows about the situation, because there's a tiny bit of a stinger near the end of the 3rd episode where Sarah is like, yeah, and I'm like, Sarah, just tell us, please tell us. Definitely a very enjoyable murder mystery TV show. And of course, like I said, with the pacing, it's so great. It's better than most movies that I've seen, that's for sure. Because it just gets things going. And like, there is no mucking around. And yet it still has time to explore characters and how they feel and the depth of them. So yeah, I would say that's pretty good directing and also pretty good screenwriting, because I actually care about the characters and I'm not bored at all. Now, maybe I should go back and watch Extraction. I don't know, everybody seems to love that, and there's like so many reviews, and he does kick ass, Chris Hemsworth. Anywho, I hope you guys are watching this. This is really good. Watch it on Apple TV+. If you already bought an iPhone recently, I'm pretty sure you get an entire year for free. So watch it, check it out. It's a really, really good show. I also watched The Morning Show previously. If you guys do want a review of The Morning Show, please comment down below and I might do a season 1 review, like an entire season. Anywho, that is it for my review of episode 1 to 3 of Defending Jacob. I guess I will see you guys next week when we talk about episode 4. Anyways, hope you guys are all having a good day, and until next time, bye guys. Thank you so much for watching. So you can check out some more videos right now, right there. Do you see them? Also, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a single video. Bye!